Subscribe to my channel.
Section 1. Solving one-handed host, holding the cube. Let's begin with solving the cube one-handed. You might be wondering, why would someone solve it with one hand? Well, it's a great way to improve finger dexterity and speed, and it looks pretty cool too. Host shows the Rubik's Cube holding it with one hand. Host. Now, solving it one-handed isn't too different from the regular two-handed method. The main challenge is using only one hand to make the moves, but the steps are still the same as solving it normally. Step 1. The first layer. First, we start with the white cross. Just like normal, we need to align the white edge pieces with the white center, but here, you'll need to make sure you grip the cube properly to rotate with your thumb and fingers, since you're only using one hand. Demonstrates how to turn the cube using only the thumb and fingers. Host. You can use your thumb to push the cube around and your fingers to rotate each face. Practice makes perfect. It's all about building muscle memory. Here's the first layer completed, with the white cross and the white corners solved. Step 2. The second layer. Next, we move on to the second layer. With one hand, this part can be tricky. You'll need to use your thumb and fingers to position and insert the middle layer pieces into place. It may take a little time to get the hang of it. Demonstrate solving the second layer, showing the movements with only one hand. Step 3. The final layer. Finally, we solve the top layer just like usual. You'll use a combination of your thumb, index, and middle finger to perform the last layer algorithms. Since you only have one hand, your movements might be slower at first, but with practice, you'll speed up. Host demonstrates one-handed algorithms to orient and permute the last layer pieces. Host. And there you have it. Solved with one hand. It's all about learning how to hold the cube comfortably and using your fingers to rotate the faces efficiently. Section 2. Solving blindfolded. Now let's move on to the more challenging skill. Solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded. It sounds impossible, but with the right strategy, it's totally doable. Here's how it works. Before we get started, I want to let you know that solving blindfolded is based on memorization. You won't be able to see the cube while solving it, so you need to learn the cube's positions by heart and then apply the algorithms by memory. Step 1. Memorizing the cube host. The first step to solving blindfolded is memorization. You'll need to memorize the cube's state before you put the blindfold on. Typically, you memorize the positions of the pieces, especially the edges and corners. Host shows the cube and explains how to mentally mark the positions of each piece, edges and corners, using a notation system. Host. Many cubers use a system of letters and numbers to remember the pieces, and there are multiple ways to do it. One of the most popular is the letter pairing system, where you associate each piece with a letter or number. Practice this step as much as you can. Step 2. Solving the cube. Blindfolded. Once you've memorized the positions of the pieces,